Halito. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm on here to do a quick. Wow. They doing crazy playback. Give me a minute. Yeah, give me a second. All right, I found out the problem. I'm good. How y'all doing tonight? All right, y'all. So I'm here to do a quick review. Peace to everybody in the chat, those that are stopping by right now, and those that will tune in later. All right, I appreciate y'all. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, so I got the copyright disclaimer. Yes, right there. All right, this is my review on SarahsOil. It's about the first Negro Indian, Creek Indian, misnomer, colored Negro, just only Negro, millionaire. They label her as the first misnomer black millionaire, etc. They did a movie about her, right? So this is my disclaimer because this is fair use. I am doing commentary, criticism, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research. All right, I'm giving a review. This is for educational purposes, entertainment purposes only, etc. All right. So I did visit her house here in Kansas City because her and her family moved to Kansas City. So I did want to share this. Let me see if I can make it bigger. And I did this on my partnership channel too. So I shared it on my partnership channel. Let me see. I'm going to pull it up. All right. All right. So I did go to the back of the house, but it only let me do so much. All right, y'all. So I saw the movie today. Now, they do talk about her ancestry, and that is how she got her land allotment on because she was a part of the Muskogee Creek Nation. All right. Now, this website did an awesome job with reporting things about Sarah Richter. They actually talked to Sarah Richter's descendants, her family members, and they showed this person who wrote this article on their website. It was a blog. They showed them pictures, family photographs. They let them use the photographs for the blog, the article online. And I'm going to pull that up. I'm not going to read it all, but y'all can reference this because they did a thorough job because they actually spoke to Sarah Richter's descendants. All right. So in the movie, they did reference her Creek ancestry. They did that, how she got her land, and she got 160 acres of land because they had to give them land allotments. And just so you know, the slaves were Negro Indians or dark-skinned Indians. All right. They always throw in the African thing, right? So they gave it to, or they throw in the African thing, or they throw in the freedmen, etc. People of color, black. They just focus on the Negro and not people's indigenous status. Because whenever they take away someone's indigenous status, they try to take away the rights to their land. That this is our land or our ancestors' land, therefore it was passed down to us. It is our inheritance. Same thing with Sarah Richter. She got this land because of her ancestry. So they did mention that in the movie. Now on this picture in the background, this is the a map of the land allotment. This is her land. All right. Her and one of her other siblings got like fragmented land. All right. So she got the land allotment, and there were other families that got land allotment, and they were drilling for oil on the land. And there was a family, a Creek family, their children's land. They struck oil, but some evil people blew up their house and they were unalived. All right. So the movie does show that they kind of play on the fact that, she had to have a guardian. They felt that dark-skinned Indians and Indians, they needed a guardian, a white guardian to help them manage their money because they felt that Negro Indians and Indians didn't have enough education to manage money. And with oil, that's like the black gold that is worth millions of dollars, right? And so they felt that they weren't smart enough to manage the money. So they had to get a guardian, etc. And so the movie kind of played around that. And after they had blew up the Creek family's house with the children in it, and they were unalived. After that, everybody was scared in the movie, basically, and they were scared for Sarah's life because they felt she was going to be next. And these people was threatening her to take her. Basically, they wanted to take her and take her money. They want to kill her and claim the rights to her land. So this is what the movie was about. They did make some references where one time when the people was coming for her, her mama, Sarah's mama, gave her and her brother, like a little package of food or whatever, and told her, go to the Creek territory. Go to the Creek territory. And we gonna stand our ground. So the parents, the mom and the daddy, was there at the house with their shotguns, and the lookout dude that was working with the dude that helped drill the oil, they all was like standing their ground, and they told Sarah and her brother to go to the Creek territory, and they will meet her there. So these evil people that was trying to steal her land, they end up going up on the Creek territory, and they was like, we just want the girl, we just want the girl. And they let them through. And as soon as they came close to where Sarah was, because she was by the creek, all right, her and her brother was by the creek, and they was hiding right in some like high grass. And as soon as they came, they were approaching her in their vehicle. Here comes her mama and her daddy, and the creek basically, the warriors, all right, or their sheriff, if you will, the sheriff and the men, they came riding in on their horses, and they had shotguns drawn on the two dudes that was trying to take Sarah, and unalive her. So in the movie, they said, it was because of her ancestry how she got the money, and they did mention the Creeks. And then they showed how the Creeks was standing with her in the movie. Like they was standing with her, like after that situation, like after they rescued her from the people, they actually put the dudes, like, I won't say handcuffs, but they like took them and said, you trespassing on Creek territory, etc. So the Creeks rounded the dudes up and took them away. And so like the next day, when the boss of the evil men came with his men, the Creek were basically protecting Sarah and her family on her land where they was drilling for oil. So I did like the fact that they did, show that aspect of it. And they did mention her ancestry, but if it was me, I would have did it, a little different, but for the most part, they put that in there. And how the Creek was standing with her. The Muskogee Creek Nation was standing with her. Actually, that was, pretty cool. And so I don't really have anything bad to say about the movie. Excuse me. I didn't like the fact that she had to have a guardian and all that shit. And they showed when she had to go to court to get a guardian. And then they added some other elements, because it's a movie. But I'm going to pull up the website so that y'all can go and check out that website. All right. Shout out to them. So this is the website that did the story on Sarah Richter and her family. All right. This is the Santa Fe trailer. They actually talked to Sarah Richter's descendants. And they just show all of these media newspaper articles, because they did mention that in the movie about the newspaper articles, and they was like, the world is watching, the world is listening on what is happening with Sarah and her land. The NAACP did get involved because she was, quote unquote, a person of color with Creek ancestry. So these are some of the articles, like the world's richest negress, 10-year-old Oklahoma negress. She was a Negro Indian, a Creek, a dark-skinned Creek. Sarah Richter is the richest colored person in the world, or soon will be, and will probably have to pay more income tax than any citizen in Oklahoma. All right. This was from the Times Democrat of Muskogee, Oklahoma. Headlines in 1913 captured only part of the story of Sarah Richter. All right. And they kept like trying to paint, a picture of her like she's this, poor, ignorant, misnomer black little girl. But she came from, a rich history, a Creek indigenous history. And this is how she got this allotment of land. She got 160 acres of land. So this site, shout out to them, the new Santa Fe trailer. Shout out to them for this. For this website, because they actually talked to Sarah Richter's family, her descendants. And y'all can read this. Y'all can go to newsantafetrailer.blogspot.com. And this is called The Richest Misnomer Black Girl in America. All right. But I do like how the movie did include the Creek, because that is of her bloodline. She does have Creek blood, Creek indigenous blood. All right. But these are some of her descendants. These are Sarah Richter's sister's children. All right. And this is one of the chiefs that has something to do with putting dark-skinned Indians into slavery, and with the whole freedman deal, right? So they also talk about Sarah Richter. One of her ancestors was a dark-skinned Creek that was enslaved by the Creeks. And this is how she got her land, because of her ancestry. So they did mention it in the movie. I mean, I don't really have too much to say about the movie, except they should have also painted her as a Negro Indian. Yeah, they kept saying, she had, because of her ancestry is how she got that land and everything. But this article is really good, so y'all should check it out. This is Sarah Richter's grandmother. And Sarah Richter's this is Amy Manuel McGilbra, 1846 to 1936, with Joe and Rose's daughter, Rosa. So this is Sarah Richter's sister, and this is Sarah Richter's grandmother. So they break down a lot. They break down, how she got the land and how much land it was. It was 160 acres. They made their own Negro Indian town. It was called Taft. T as in Tom, A, F as in Frank, T as in Tom, Taft, Oklahoma. Okay. It says, according to the Oklahoma Historical Society, Taft had 2 newspapers, 3 general stores, a brickyard, drugstore, a soda pop factory, a livery stable, a grist mill, 2 hotels, a restaurant, a bank, and a funeral home. And of course, I'm sure they had not what you would call a hospital, but they practiced indigenous medicine there. Indigenous in what they will call Southern folk hoodoo, if you will, because this was a town full of Negro Indians in Taft, Oklahoma. This is where Sarah Richter lived. All right. And like on the flyer, the thumbnail, that shows Sarah Richter's land allotment on the Cimarron River. This is highlighted on the Hastings Township plats of the Creek Nation in 1910. So, because of her Creek ancestry, she got this land. So basically, she struck oil, they got rich, and they do, label her as a Creek freedman. Freedmen's are Negro Indians. They have Indian ancestry. They're just dark skinned. Some of them may have other things in their bloodline, but they do label her a Creek freedman. Okay, this is how she got this land. This is a home of the Creek freedmen in Oklahoma Territory, 1900. But this is a real thorough article. So if y'all want to know the real truth about Sarah Richter, you want to go to this website. All right. It says great oil fields that lie around Muskogee have made ignorant children fabulously wealthy. They were so jealous and envious. Sarah Richter, 13-year-old Negro Indian girl who lived in a tent, is worth $500,000 and is getting richer every day. They made up all these stories. They fabricated a lot of things. This is like the tabloids or social media before social media, where they was like spreading all these lies. But the little girl, Sarah, she was well educated. Even in the movie, they had her really articulate. Even she spoke to the judge in the movie, and she was really like smart, like a smart little girl, basically. And they even had her negotiating in the movie, which was, interesting. But she got rich. The person who was representing her, he actually only got like 2%. And she was able to have control of her money like when she was 18. But this is how her land looked on the Cimarron River. These are the oil wells. oil wells, the oil rigs for her oil, her black gold. All right. So later in life, they did move to Kansas City, which is why y'all saw me in front of the Richter's mansion. All right, the Richter family mansion. All right, the mother brought the house for the family. It was basically Sarah's money. Excuse me. So, in essence, Sarah bought bought the house, the mansion. She had businesses, all kind of. She had businesses. She had real estate. She had a lot of things. All right. And this is just showing how the NAACP did come and check things out, because they wanted to make sure that these newspapers was either true or false. Like, is she being represented correctly? They went down there to make sure she wasn't getting taken advantage of, etc. And TJ Porter, basically, he had to answer to these allegations, because he was the person who was representing her. But as I said, he only got 2% in actuality. And they just kept printing all these little bogus ass articles. And everybody was concerned that a Negro Indian girl had, all this land, and she had all this oil and all the money that came with the oil. They was concerned about her money, her wealth and riches. And this is Sarah Richter's mother, Mama Rose Richter, in the Richter Mansion in Kansas City. And the family gave this person who wrote this article permission to use these photographs. And this is how the mansion, the brick mansion, looked before. And I showed y'all the video of how it looks now today. It actually later got sold because of there was a stock market crash, and so they did lose this, and it became a funeral home. But Sarah still had money. She still had other homes. She had real estate. She had a restaurant, the Busy Bee, and some other business ventures. Sarah Richter, her own boss. Rich Negro Indian girl takes over control of big estate from Muskogee trustees. All right. This is when the judge deemed that she could have her money. All right. Now they did like kind of mix things up in the movie, like with the TJ dude, and then he had a Mexican friend that was helping him like drill oil. They even had a lady she was like a lawyer and investigator, and she was trying to make sure that Sarah was getting a fair share, and she was treated right in the movie. And she basically brought the NAACP down there to check on Sarah in the movie. But the NAACP did, in fact, go and check on her and make sure everything was on the up and up. Made sure that she wasn't getting taken advantage of. But yeah, basically, so I'm not gonna get long-winded with this video, but I did want to give my review of the movie. I will give it an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'm just glad that they did, mention it, and I liked how the Creeks was protecting her in the movie, protecting her and her family, her land, and her oil. in the movie. I did like that. So at the end of the day, they need to put respect on Sarah Richter's name and her ancestry. She is a Negro Indian. She is a dark-skinned Negro of Creek ancestry. So don't just try to say, oh, she's colored or she's of color or oh, she's a freedman descendant. No, she is of Creek blood ancestry, okay? This is her when she got married at 18. This is her by her car. Her and her mother were known to like race around the Kansas City streets in their fast Cadillacs and race. Sarah used to get, speeding tickets and shit. She threw magnificent parties. She entertained the Kansas City Monarchs. It was close to the downtown area, the Jazz District, 18th and Vine, here in Kansas City, and that's the area where a lot of the jazz musicians and the singers, jazz, blues, all of that. So she entertained a lot of these, people of the era of the Roaring Twenties, basically. Kansas City Monarchs, baseball team, Count Basie, Duke Ellington, the fighters of those days. So she lived a interesting life. They talk about, her mother and her father and what they were like. Her mother was about business, handling business, making sure her baby and her money was taken care of. The daddy, he was like a protector. Also in the movie, he was like a protector too. So this is the mansion in its heyday. And then later on, so Sarah, she had a place in the city and she had a farm across the state line on the Kansas side. She had a farm and they would have a lot of family gatherings at the farm. And this is her, on her farm with her nieces. So she lived a good life. She experienced being poor and being rich and living, modestly. Like after the stock market had crashed, she started living frugally, but she still was, living the life. She had, like I said, she had several houses, she had real estate, she had businesses, etc. So these are, her family members. And so the family members gave them these pictures to post. So if you want to know the truth, an accurate account of Sarah Richter and her family, you want to go to this website. This is the website to go to get the accurate information. The new Santa Fe trailer. .blogspot.com/2019/richest misnomer black girl in America. All right, so put some respect on the matriarch, Sarah Richter. She is a Negro Indian, a Creek woman. So she's actually the richest Creek girl in America. Creek woman in America at that time. So, anybody got any comments or questions? Y'all can get at me. Cause I'ma close out. I did just wanna, do this on my channel also because I've been doing a lot of stuff on my partnership channel. And I'm gonna start doing more stuff on here. I'm gonna get back on my my videos, of course. Y'all know I'm the ancestor shapeshifter, so I will be digging into the spirituality and culture of my ancestors, for all the seasons and the different holidays or times of the year that we celebrate our cultural ceremonies and events. I will, be on my channel for those things and for random things like my Enigma Solver Chronicles, where I delve into esoteric things and spirituality and religion. And of course, my spirituality, the readings and sessions, and the indigenous astrology, and random movie reviews that are of significance to what my channel is about. So y'all know on my channel, y'all gonna get that gumbo pot of a little bit of everything. But I did want to share this so that y'all can see what's going on with Sarah Rector, and she is honored this Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month. So this will be a good month to do your genealogy or to work on it. If you put it down, you did a pause, you want to pick it back up and continue. Learn about your indigenous history this month. I practice this every day. It's a way of life. It's, due to my bloodline, but I just encourage y'all, do your genealogy, learn your people's ways, their ceremonies, their language, their culture, and apply it to your everyday life in some way. All right. If you just want to start on the holy days, the holidays, or the celebratory days, whatever, just incorporate it into your life. I just encourage everyone to do that. So I'm going to close out. So y'all stay tuned. I will be, back randomly. I'll try to announce it. So this is the month for Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month. And then next month, we're going to get into my Enigma Solver Chronicles with spirituality versus religion and all the esoteric stuff that comes with that. We're going to be celebrating the indigenous or the dark skin matriarch in December. They also have for the diaspora, they have the Church of the Black Madonna, etc. So I will be, digging into that and showing you the dark skinned indigenous matriarch, where that, came from and different things. So y'all new to my channel, just, check out some of my playlists, the Enigma Solver Chronicles, and some of my other playlists. Y'all can check them out, and I will close out. I'm going to show my merch, and then I'm going to get on out of here because I got shit to do. All right. Let me pull this up. My merch. And we out. I can't play the music, but so since it is Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month, all right, we are honoring the matriarch with some of my products. I created this, designed this, so I will go to my store and I will show y'all the link to my store. Let me pull it up. Well, this was just a little reel that I did to show, like, I have pillows, mugs, coffee mugs, tea mugs, masks for work, especially if you're in the medical field. I have chef's aprons honoring the matriarch, honor and respect. I have shirts. These are really for spring and summer, those bags. I have the blankets, etc. And the link is always in my description. If you go to all my social media platforms, it will be in the description. So y'all can go to my store. And I got stuff for Hoodoo Month. Hoodoo/Voodoo Month, which is around the Day of the Dead or Day of the Ancestors. I have the Oracle Collection. The Wise Women were oracles. Spiritual, highly spiritual, intuitive. In our cultures. Creole culture, indigenous culture. So I even have, bathroom set with that. My logo, I got those. I got some glasses, hoodies, workout gear, meditation, yoga, Pilates gear, backpacks, wine tumblers. Some of this stuff is out of stock. It's seasonal. Some workout gear, water bottles, etc. I even have phone cases. But I'm gonna show the let's see. So if you're a chef or you like to cook, grill, this is good like for the summer. It could be any season basically, because you could be, working on some things no matter what the season is. So these come in this, like the teal and the black. So I have these available. And maybe it says out of stock. So I may have to relaunch this or talk to them and see, can they still produce these for me. So let's see. Here's the blanket. I got the blankets. It's saying it's out of stock, but I will this week. That'll be my homework. The early part this week. I will check on that. So if anybody tries to order something and y'all send me a message saying it's out of stock, I will get with the company to see what's up. Can they get it back in stock, or do I need to relaunch this collection? Got the mask for the medical field. I came from the medical field, so that had to be in there. So check out my merch if y'all want to support. I appreciate y'all. So I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all rocking with me for my impromptu video review on Sarah Richter's SarahsOil, the movie. Like I said, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, so happy Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month to all my relations out there, all shades of melanin. All right, shout out to my people, my relations. And one last thing, if you want to get a spirit astrology session with me or just a life path session with me, y'all can go, to my website or any of my social media platforms, send me a message, and I will check out my schedule and book you. All right. So y'all have a good night. Y'all can see me on my partnership channel. We're doing something new. So I did last week. So it's me and Pa, and then we have a special guest host for the winter. And then in the spring we may do another special guest host. But that's my partnership channel. It's mainly about indigenous history, and we incorporating some new things. And I love to honor the matriarchs on there because I gotta represent the beloved women, the beloved warrior women, because I come from a strong bloodline of warrior women, healers, etc. So I'm all about honoring the matriarch. I have to bring balance to things. So y'all can check me out over there. Also, Southeastern Talking Stick podcast on Sundays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Y'all can check out some of the previous podcasts that we did when we had special guests, and then when we did different Sunday panel discussions. Tomorrow it'll be a Sunday panel discussion. So, all right, y'all. Peace.